True Crime Society podcast contains adult themes and violence and is not intended for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. And if you'd like to skip the intro or move to any specific part of the podcast, please refer to the timestamps listed in the episode description. Thank you. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the True Crime Society podcast with Stephanie and Olivia. It is July 5th, and I just have to get right into it because I had the fucking worst July 4th ever. It was like out of a movie. I was telling Olivia as it was happening. I just couldn't believe it because obviously going into July 4th with a baby to begin with is stressful because fireworks are very loud. I live in the type of town where people love July 4th. They love fireworks. They live for it. Like hardcore. So every year, my one neighbor, not immediately next to me, right next to them, it's very, very close. I could see their house from my house. They're not houses that are far apart. Always lights off big overhead fireworks. And they're so loud because they're honestly right over my roof. And just for the record, big fireworks like that, the overhead ones that shoot in the air, they're illegal in New York. You can't buy them in New York. You're not supposed to shoot them off in New York. Everyone does anyways. We're close to the Connecticut border, so people just drive to Connecticut to buy them. Whatever, that's besides the point, I guess. So I'm dreading it because I know that at least my neighbor is going to be shooting off these fireworks very loud. So Baby Jack didn't want to have his afternoon nap. This is the first time ever that he didn't have his afternoon nap. He had a 1 nap day. He napped from like 10 something to like almost 12 and then wouldn't go down to sleep. So I spent the whole afternoon trying to get him to nap and then finally gave up. So I was like, fine, you're having a 6:30 bedtime because what am I going to do? So I get him to sleep at 6:30 when he had been going to bed closer to 8 for a while. People start lighting off fireworks at like 7. It's still full daylight. I'm annoyed. Full daylight, people are starting fireworks. Then all of a sudden, 7:30, we start getting warnings that there's like a storm coming, like a bad storm. So then I'm getting stressed about that. This storm comes, and it's actually basically a tornado. They haven't confirmed that it's a tornado yet because they have to investigate or do whatever. But there was like 80-mile-per-hour gusts of wind. It was crazy. So immediately go from fireworks, a little like firework preview at 7 p.m. to tornado. My power pretty much always goes out. My power started blinking on and off. And this isn't good because in Baby Jack's room, I have this light. I don't know if you have lights like this where you plug them in. So they're like kind of always, they have a remote. So you can control them with this remote. So you could like turn it dimmer, brighter, on, off with the remote. But I guess they're technically always kind of on then. So when the power goes off and back on, it turns the fucking light on. So the power kept going off and on. So it would turn on the light in his bedroom while he's sleeping. So as soon as the power browned out, I fucking ran into his room and I ran and I shut the light out and he was squirming around, but he somehow stayed asleep. I turned the light out, turned his air conditioner back on, turned his sound machine back on, and he stayed asleep. And then I could hear how crazy the storm was. And Mike's texting me. He's like, it's so windy outside. I couldn't see anything. So I'm in Jack's room in the pitch black. I was just sitting in his rocking chair, like waiting because I wasn't sure if he was going to wake up or not. So I'm like on my phone, like texting, trying to look at things. And we're getting all these alerts that are like, take shelter. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Like, is it really a take shelter right now kind of thing? Am I supposed to take Baby Jack out of the crib? Like, what is going on? The power goes on and off again. The light turned on again. At this point, I just ripped the plug out of the wall. I was like, fuck this fucking light. I turned all his stuff on again. Somehow he stays asleep still. So I just stayed in his room because I was like, if the power's going to keep going on and off and I'm going to have to keep like turning on his air conditioner, turning on his sound machine, I'm just going to stay right here. So finally the storm passes. I did hear like this loud ruckus, but again, I was in the pitch black. I couldn't see anything going on. Mike was texting me that it was like very scary out. So it finally passes. Baby Jack stayed asleep. Thank fucking God. It's like 8 something at this point. So then me and Mike go outside because our garbage cans were like all over the place. So we go outside our garage and look. Our front yard has a massive tree in it, like a huge tree fell in our front yard. And I was like, what the heck? That was that loud. Because I heard I was hearing like thunder while I was in there, but then there was like one noise. I was like, what was that? And it kind of felt a rumble. Guess it was the tree falling. So now a tree has fallen in my yard. Storm passes, and I'm like, these motherfuckers, I know that they're not going to give up their fireworks, even though there's trees down everywhere. I'm so lucky my power didn't go out because like thousands of people lost power. So many people lost power. There's trees down everywhere. It's like an emergency. I know these assholes don't care. So 9:30 on the dot, maybe even 9 o'clock, everyone starts lighting off their fireworks. And so now it's like they've been prolonged because of the storm almost. So everyone starts hurrying to light them off. So they're going off everywhere, all over the place. My neighbor is lighting them off right above my roof. And it's like the longest 20 minutes of my life that my neighbor is lighting off these loud ass fireworks. And they are so loud. They're like slaps, like gunshots. And Baby Jack somehow sleeps through the whole fucking thing. Like he swerved around a little, rolled around a little, and I was like, oh, this is it. He's waking up. He's waking up. He's waking up. Stayed asleep through the whole thing. I have no idea how, because sometimes if I get up out of his rocking chair and it creaks, he wakes up.
I feel like
now
maybe
he's going to sleep through a fireworks show.
He had more of like, it was a little bit after he went to sleep, so he may have had a chance to get into a really, really deep sleep.
Yeah, he must have been, because between his lights turning on, his air conditioner turning off, the sound machine turning off, turning them all back on, having them all go off and on again, then all the fireworks, he stays asleep. So I'm like, thank God, at least. But so then,
mercies.
Yeah, honestly. But I spent my whole night fucking stressed for hours, and thank God he stayed asleep. So then finally, it's all kind of dying down a bit after 10, going on 11, where there's still assholes lighting them off all over it. It's keeping me awake, but like quiet enough that I didn't think it was going to wake Baby Jack. So I felt a little better. So then I'm finally laying in bed at 11 because I know since Baby Jack had his 6:30 bedtime that there's like no way he's going to be sleeping past 5:30. So I knew I was going to have to get up early. I'm laying in bed, and every 10 minutes I'm woken up then by someone lighting off M80s. Then I'm laying here and I hear, because the tree that fell in my yard also fell on the road. So then the town shows up and starts fucking chainsawing this tree at 11:30 at night. And I'm like,
this prompt.
Yeah. I was like, this is the worst fucking day ever. This is cursed. I have gone from one stress to the next, to the next, to the next, and I just want to go to sleep. So I did finally go to sleep, probably somewhere around midnight. And Jack did wake up at 5:30 a.m. on the dot.
On the dot,
but
ready to go.
He did sleep through the night somehow. So I guess that's the silver lining, even though I spent many hours stressed and running around like a lunatic.
I feel like we're quite lucky here because really the only day anyone ever does fireworks is New Year's Eve, and even then it's not very much. It's not a massive thing here where I live.
Oh
anyway.
My God. It's fucking ridiculous. Like I'm assuming it was all one house that was lighting them off for hours and hours and hours, it felt like. And fireworks are expensive, and I'm not a fireworks person. I don't have a problem with them, but if you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Also, I just feel like the homemade one, like the home ones, are never that good. Why are you bothering?
And like the night before, on the 3rd, our town did like a huge, nice fireworks show. It's like, just go to that and call it a day. But I don't know. People are probably going to get offended, but I just don't understand like this like dick measuring contest that people have with fireworks in some places. But that definitely is how it is here, where people are like, I want mine to be like the loudest, the longest, the brightest. Like it really means something to them. I just don't get it. And I was fighting in my local Facebook group all morning about this, because half the people were posting about how excessive it was and how it scared their pets, babies, veterans, everyone, how everyone was just tired and sick of it because it went on for so long and for so late. And then there's people being like, it's a once in a lifetime celebration. It's America's 250th birthday. And it's like, okay, cool. I don't know. It's just, it's not my thing.
I would agree.
Yeah. So we made it through, for anyone who was wondering, but oh my God, it felt like a fucking marathon of an evening. But
Oh
I'm
gosh.
lucky that we did not lose power, 'cause I don't even know what I would do. It'd be so hot in here. I'm literally looking into buying a generator because my sister lost power and lost power overnight. Didn't have power for, I don't even know if she has power back yet. But they have a generator. And Mike and I went out this morning, and the whole town is like without power. Our grocery stores are all closed. Dunkin' Donuts are all closed. All the gas stations are closed. All the lights are out. There's trees down all over the place. So yeah, that was my
Fun
long ass
time.
story, but I had to tell it all.
Now we can kind of transition seamlessly because our listener of the week is actually someone who mentioned the weather. So I'll just give a quick update on my weather because midwinter, it is actually finally getting cold. Someone sent us an Instagram message saying, stay cold. It's so cold here. So I looked it up. The minimum this week where I live is going to be 47. The max is going to be 67. So still a bit of a range, but getting very cold in the night. And that was Fahrenheit, Celsius, I should add, because that was a comment we got this week. Sometimes I forget to do them both. I think that's like 8, maybe 6 degrees is the low, and then about 16 is the high Celsius. But our listener of the week this week is Tess. She said, Olivia, I love that you cover temperatures for the American listeners, but don't forget about us Aussies. I have no idea what 72 Fahrenheit is. Don't forget to give Celsius too. This is the third time you've forgotten us and used Fahrenheit. Yes, I've been counting. Ha ha ha. Love your work, guys, Olivia and Stephanie. Can't wait for the next case. Can't wait until you can quit your day jobs and do this full time, which also would be lovely.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm technically doing it, but it's not easy. Things are tight. So our Patreon subscribers for this week, we have Michelle, Ashley, Brittany, Samantha, Kyla, Nicole, Brandy, Andrew, Jet, and Amy. Woo! Besties.
I feel like our male listenership is getting growing. Like even when I look at our demographics on Instagram and things like that, it always used to be like 96 or 95% female, and now it's not evenly split.
A little more even.
Yeah, like 80 to 20 or something like that. So interesting. There's been a little bit of a shift in who's interested in true crime, maybe.
Whenever we get a male Patreon subscriber, I'm like, scandal. Before we get into the episode, we have a quick word from our sponsor, Quince. The best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat. Comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. That's why I love Quince. They make elevated essentials using premium materials like European linen, organic cotton, and washable silk without the traditional markup. I have a couple pairs of shorts from Quince that I just got that I've been loving, especially in this hot weather. I had a pair of their running shorts and a pair of their linen shorts, and they've been so great. They're so easy to throw on. They're comfortable, great material, and I think I mentioned a while ago that I got a bathing suit for baby Jack, and I sent a picture to Olivia of him testing out his little pool, and Olivia commented on how cute they are. So I do really like their baby stuff as well. It's great quality, very cute. I recommend checking out things for you and things for the babies.
So Quince's denim is soft and comfortable, and their organic cotton sweaters are perfect for layering when the evenings cool down. Everything at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They work directly with ethical factories and cut out the middlemen, so you're paying for exceptional quality, not brand markup. And it's not just apparel. Quince also offers elevated essentials for your home, from bedding to bath and kitchen essentials and furniture. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/TCS for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/TCS for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/TCS.
All right, so our topic for today, we are going to be talking about a case from Saratoga Springs, Utah. I'm just going to get right into it. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to just go to the story.
Not like what we usually do.
Yeah, where we're just like, so anyways, this is exactly what happened. And this is what we think. We haven't even told you the case. Okay. On a quiet 2025 March morning in Saratoga Springs, Utah, a teenage girl walked into a horrific scene. Her mother, Jessica Lyman, who was 44, and her brother, Eli Painter, who was 8, had been shot and were found in Jessica's bedroom. As investigators peeled back the layers of the case, unsettling clues emerged. Surveillance footage of a masked figure, cryptic handwritten notes, and a trail of unanswered questions that have kept the double murder shrouded in mystery. More than a year later, with no arrests and new evidence still surfacing, the Saratoga Springs double murder remains one of Utah's most haunting and perplexing unsolved cases. And I will say it's It's like strange, but
Maybe not so strange. I just
but
feel, yeah.
even so, still strange. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot. It seems like there's enough evidence that something should have happened and nothing has, which we'll get into.
Yeah. That I definitely agree with.
Over near Willowbrook Lane in Saratoga Springs, a house with a whole new meaning after what happened on March 28th.
We find out from the search warrant that they believe this is a homicide.
Saratoga Springs police found 8-year-old Eli Painter and 44-year-old Jessica Lyman dead with gunshot wounds in the head. Police say they were both in the master bedroom, found by a 17-year-old who had just gotten back home. Lyman was found with her pants around her knees and what they believe was seminal fluids on the sheets near the 44-year-old. A 15-year-old male told police he was sleeping at the time of the shooting, also telling police he didn't know of any guns in the house. When police searched the 15-year-old's room, they said it was a mess. They found 2 BB gun pistols and handwritten notes with phrases like, "This is a murder story," firearm testing, and DNA.
All right, so I'll start with some history and some background on those involved in the case. So Jessica was born on March 26, 1981 in Provo, Utah, to Byron James Orton and Marcia Clayton Orton. According to her obituary, Jessica's life was defined by her deep love for her family, her unwavering dedication to her career, and her generous spirit. Jessica had 3 children, 2 teenagers, and Eli, who was the second victim in the murder. The names of the surviving teens are published online, but we're not going to name them because it just feels like we shouldn't. So we're just going to refer to the teenage daughter as A and the teenage son as N for the episode. So professionally, Jessica worked in roles such as human resources, an account manager, and a project manager. She was known for her exceptional work ethic, intelligence, and her ability to rise quickly through the ranks. More than anything, Jessica treasured creating special moments with her children, whether attending a Sabrina Carpenter concert with her daughter, surprising her teenage son with a flying lesson for his 15th birthday, or taking Eli to a trampoline park. She always found ways to bring adventure and joy into their lives. And then Eli, he was born on February 14th, 2017 in Orem, Utah, to Jason Everett Painter and Jessica. He had a deep love for Sonic the Hedgehog and could spend hours playing any Sonic game, as well as Minecraft and Mario Party. Recently, he had discovered a new favorite game, pickleball. Oh, I love pickleball too. Which was the last thing he played with his family on Tuesday evening before he passed. Eli's world was full of adventure. He adored Spider-Man, basketball, soccer, and riding his bike. He was just beginning to learn how to skateboard and was always ready for his next challenge. He loved going on walks in nature, where his boundless curiosity shined as he explored the world around him. He had a remarkable talent for art, spending hours creating drawings that captured his vivid imagination. Eli also had a budding passion for cooking, helping Jessica make dinner from the special cookbook she gave him for his birthday. He never missed an opportunity to visit the jump park where he could run, climb, and jump. On March 28th, 2025, A, who again is the daughter, returned to the family home in Saratoga Springs. She went into her mother's bedroom and found both Jessica and Eli, and both had suffered gunshot wounds. Eli had suffered 2 gunshot wounds to the head, which were inflicted with a small caliber round. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Jessica was airlifted to a hospital in critical condition, and police cordoned off the home and began a homicide investigation.
Do you want me to just talk about the house quickly? I'll just talk about those photos quickly.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So I had a look at the house and the address. It looks like it's, I would call it like a townhome type situation,
Yeah,
maybe like a duplex. They're all attached, like in a row. Yeah, so basically very like a dense neighborhoods type situation. There was a lot of people in the vicinity. So yeah, the houses
like they literally
are
share
attached.
walls.
Yeah, share walls. Like I am shocked no one else saw much, but yeah, a very residential suburban. This wasn't a rural home or anything like that. It was a very this wasn't a rural
populated area.
Yeah, it was a very populated area. Neighbors were all very close to each other.
So Jessica remained in the hospital for a few days before she passed away on March 31st, 2025. Authorities have remained tight-lipped about the case, but we've learned a fair amount of information from the court documents. So according to a warrant that was filed in April 2025, Jessica's shorts or pants were found down around her knees when she was found. The warrant also revealed that 2 .22 caliber shell casings were found at the murder scene. According to Fox, a Saratoga Springs police detective submitted the warrant to Apple, requesting data from an iCloud account belonging to a family member of the victims. According to court documents, on the day of the murders, the daughter called 911 and said that her mother and brother were lying in bed unconscious and bleeding from their heads. She reported that her 15-year-old brother might also be home. When police were talking to the brother, he stated that he'd been in his room taking a nap and didn't hear anything. An officer asked him if there were weapons in the home, and he said that he wasn't aware of any guns in the home. So police wrote in the warrant that at that point, the boy had not been told by EMS or police officers that the incident involved a gun or a gunshot wound. So they're just making note of the fact that it did. And he did specifically mention that guns weren't found in the home when asked if there were any weapons in the home.
Yeah, prior to him maybe knowing that a gun was used.
So during the afternoon of March 28th of the day of the murders, N, who is the brother of the boy, son, was taken to the Saratoga Springs Police Department with his father accompanying him. During this time, he repeatedly asked for a cell phone, so much so that at one point his father snapped at him, told him to stop worrying about his cell phone, and that getting his cell phone back wasn't important right now. When considering this information combined with the fact that the teen was allegedly home asleep at the time of the incident, detectives believe that the information from his phone would help establish a timeline of when he was awake, or that it may contain other information that would be used to help establish when the crime occurred, according to the warrant. Detectives also found dried semen on the sheets adjacent to where Jessica had been lying. Items found in both Jessica and N's rooms included matching fishnet stockings, one in each bedroom. Also found in the teen's bedroom were several pairs of small female panties, police wrote. N's bedroom was said to be cluttered. Officers found 2 BB gun pistols, plate carriers and magazine pouches, and a handwritten note referencing, quote, several forms of forensic evidence, including serology, DNA, and firearm testing, according to the affidavit. The warrant also states a detective also located a second handwritten note stating, "This is a murder story." A doctor at Utah Valley Regional Medical Center told police he found suspicious seminal fluid on Jessica.
So police looked into CCTV from the area surrounding the home. They did find footage from a neighbour's camera which showed an unidentified person walking in the area, going in and out from between houses on the street that Jessica lived on. The detective wrote that one of the gaps between the houses leads to a gravel path that provides potential access to the back of the Lyman family home. At one point, this individual pauses and puts what appears to be a white mask over his face, according to the warrant. Footage from 2 surveillance cameras provided by a neighbour capture a, quote, wide area south and east and homes across both Willowbrook Lane, which is where Jessica's house was, on Silvercrest Drive, which eventually intersects with Willowbrook Lane, which is where Jessica's house was. Both of the cameras captured a person, quote, exiting a gap between 2 homes on Silvercrest Drive at around 2:30 a.m. on March 28. The person then walked short distances both north and south on Silvercrest Drive before turning north onto Willowbrook Lane, only yards away from Jessica's residence. That person also appeared to be carrying a backpack. One of those homes is in part of the same building as the Lyman townhome. East of the townhomes is the gravel path, as we mentioned. So basically, it's talking about all these access points that someone could have gained access to Jessica's house. As I mentioned, lots of kind of alleys, nooks and crannies, ways to get to these different properties. And Jessica's house could be accessed from that gravel path through a gate or over a vinyl fence and through a sliding glass door into the basement. There is footage that shows the person entering the gap between the 2 homes at 2:30 a.m. and then returning to the same gap at 3 a.m. Police wrote nobody was captured either entering into or exiting the gap for the rest of the night. In a search of the home 4 days after the shooting, detectives said they found a white and brown mask that resembled the mask that is seen on the video recording. So that's the mask that the person was seen putting on. Detectives discovered several masks, including a light-coloured one at Jessica's home, according to the warrant. A second search warrant stated police recovered a mask from the teen's room that is white and brown and resembles the mask that is seen on video recordings provided by the neighbours. The home's sliding glass basement door was found to be unsecured. According to the affidavit, no efforts were made to dust and collect fingerprints from that door, which is a bit of an error in my opinion. They don't explain why they didn't examine that door, but I feel like that's an interesting omission that they didn't.
Yeah.
On April 13th, 2025, so a few weeks after the murders, a couple walking their dog discovered a discarded backpack in reeds along the riverside. Saratoga Springs police took the backpack to the police department, opened it, and found a dark hoodie and rubber gardening gloves that appeared to have dried blood on them. Homicide detectives working in this case were called, and they continued searching the backpack and observed that there was also a black beanie-style hat, a small flashlight, a headlamp, and a black neck gator-style face mask that had a partial white skull and jaw printed on it. Investigators also found a large amount of animal hair throughout the backpack and on many of the items. This animal hair was similar to the dog and cat hair that was found at Jessica's home. Furthermore, the black beanie that they found also contained what appeared to be human hair on the inside of the hat. The mask also appears consistent with and it looks similar to the mask worn by the suspicious male who was seen on the Ring doorbell cameras. So this is what I mean by so much evidence. They have pet fur, they have a mask, they have hair, they have all these things. I just can't understand why nothing much has happened.
Yeah.
So detectives carried out another search warrant at Jessica's home on April 23rd, and they reported finding one black Nike slide/slipper in the teen boy's room. It says detectives have observed the teen wearing these shoes in multiple pictures found on his phone, and they appear similar to the shoes worn by the masked suspect seen walking through the neighborhood on various doorbell cameras. They also got forensic downloads from devices that they subpoenaed and examined. On Jessica's phone, they found a conversation between her and the teen's son from July 2024, so just under a year before all this happened, in which the teenager apparently sent her profanity-laden messages, called her names, and told her to leave him alone. Some of the messages said, "I don't like you, go away. Do you need to learn how to shut your mouth? I'm more happy when I'm not around you. Shut up, witch. Do you know how insignificant you really are to my life? Very insignificant, and I wish I died in your stomach." Additionally, detectives also located a note where the teen indicated that he wanted to kill himself. So after the teen N initially spoke to police following the murders, he obtained legal representation and apparently has not spoken to them since. This is a quote from the court documents. It says, detectives have been informed that he is being represented by counsel and that on the advice of counsel, he is unwilling to speak with the investigators. They've also learned that the teen boy spent a large amount of time online and using or playing with a VR headset, and they've searched warrants on those devices as well. In one search warrant, investigators looked for the keywords such as mask, 22, and backpack in the search history of those electronic devices, and that's because the gun used in the murders was a 22 caliber weapon. According to the affidavit, it says detectives have been told that the team had been staying at his father's home for the majority of the time since the incident occurred on March 28, except for a period of several days where he was admitted into a behavioural unit at an area hospital. So there's a lot of reading between the lines here. Obviously, we don't know who's involved in this case. Maybe the teen could have been, grieving to have been admitted to this type of hospital, but maybe there are other things going on, which it seems like there's a lot of evidence pointing towards that.
Yeah.
Police say investigators also found several photographs taken by the teen of him holding a black Glock handgun in the bedroom of his father's house. Detectives believe that this clearly shows the teen had access to firearms while living at his father's house and that the access appears to have been unsupervised, as the pictures do not show anyone else is present while he is taking photos of the guns in his room.
I feel like we see this time and time again. Just
Yeah.
Teens, period, don't need access to their parents' guns and firearms, don't need to be just taking pictures of them unsupervised, but especially teens who are having mental health struggles, especially don't need to have access to their parents' guns without
I was going
supervision.
to say especially, like, this teen is obviously troubled. The things he's, like, don't get me wrong, I know being a teen is hard and teens and parents fight, but the things that he was writing to his mother were horrible and vicious and violent. So in no world does a teen need access to guns like this. But there should have been more measures in place to ensure that this kid didn't have access to any of this.
They should be locked up in a safe and that only the parent can access.
Yeah. So the teenage daughter was interviewed by police on March 30th. She showed investigators texts between her and her mother, as well as call logs the night before the shooting. The girl also spoke about a suspicious man that her mother had met at a park several weeks earlier. I can't really find too much more information on that, but I guess maybe it was just something that they thought was strange and should be looked into. Detectives noted in a June affidavit from last year that this was the first and only interview with the daughter, and that happened on March 30th. And detectives have been told that her father will no longer allow her to be interviewed by detectives without a lawyer being present. Detectives have requested to be able to interview her, but have not heard back. I don't really think that's unexpected. If I was a parent and my child was possibly involved in a case like this, I would absolutely also ensure they had legal representation. I don't think there's any suggestion really that the daughter was involved. She did find the bodies. She was initially cooperative, but then her parent has since stepped in and said no more unless there's a lawyer present, which I understand.
Okay, Kaylee, thank you. New police and family statements have been released in the murder of a Saratoga Springs mother and her 8-year-old child. You may remember Jessica Lyman and her son Eli were found murdered inside their home back in March. And so far, police have not arrested a suspect. We know search warrants were released that have led to accusations that the family is not cooperating with the investigation. However, police have confirmed they are working with the Lymans. Now, the family had this to say today, quote, "The situation has been devastating for our family. The Lyman family is firmly committed to holding those responsible accountable for their actions, while also protecting the rights and privacy of our family members throughout the ongoing police investigation."
So detectives spoke to Jessica's ex-husband on April 17th with his attorney present. Police asked if he had surveillance cameras at his home or video from the night of the killings. He told detectives that he did have cameras and he did have surveillance video from the night of the homicides. While telling detectives this, he offered to show detectives the footage on his phone, at which point his attorney told detectives they would review the video before releasing it or providing it to the detectives. Since the interview, detectives have requested the video multiple times, but that have been told it was taking a while due to the size of the files requested. It has now been this is in the court document, so it's now been even longer, but it has now been over 1 month since the interview with the father where the video was initially requested, and the video has still not been provided to detectives. So I find that interesting. I wonder what was on that footage. Maybe someone was seen leaving the house at a certain time. I'm obviously speculating, but I don't know. So on May 20th last year, detectives, maybe I'll just say, I don't know if it was last year, I'll just say, detectives also served a search warrant on the father's home and collected his phone and the daughter's phone. It says the search also produced ammunition, including 22 caliber bullets, the 15-year-old boy's VI headset, and various items of evidentiary value. So then they also we spoke earlier about the Nike slide that they found. They ended up finding a matching black Nike slide on a closet floor under multiple bins, and something listed as, quote, printed safety plan documents in the teen boy's closet.
Exclusive new information and evidence related to a double homicide investigation in Saratoga Springs. Thanks for joining us for 2 News at 5. I'm Brian Schnee.
And I'm Heidi Hatch. It's been more than 8 months since Jessica Lyman and her son Eli Painter were found shot in bed in their home. Both Lyman and Painter died.
I obtained 4 warrants signed in May, unsealed in late November. They were served on a property in Cedar Hills belonging to a family member. 2 pieces of evidence stands out here. The first, flip-flops. On April 23rd, investigators found a right-footed Nike slider-style shoe at the scene in Saratoga Springs. Detectives noted that the slider appeared similar to the shoes worn by the masked suspect seen walking through the neighborhood on various doorbell cameras from March 28th. They wrote that it was believed the other shoe was removed from the home and could have contained DNA evidence or gunshot residue on it. A warrant served on the relative's home June 2nd in Cedar Hills, and the left-footed matching slider-style shoe was found in a closet on the floor under multiple bins. It's not clear if there was a positive DNA hit on it. Other evidence seized that day included .22 caliber ammunition, but no firearm. At the end of each warrant, it was noted that as of late May, the weapon, believed to be a .22 caliber gun used in the shooting deaths, had not been located. And that leads us to the Jordan River, near the home where the homicide investigation is focused. You may remember recently, the FBI joined Saratoga Springs police for a thorough search of a portion of the river. It's not clear if anything was found. However, in the warrant, we found detectives were alerted by a couple walking their dog on April 13th, where they came across, quote, a backpack discarded oddly in the reeds alongside the river. Detectives responded. They found a dark hoodie, rubber gardening gloves, a black beanie-style hat, a flashlight, headlamp, and a black gator-style face mask that had a white skull or jaw printed on it. Detectives noted the mask looked similar to the mask worn by the, quote, suspicious male seen on Ring doorbell videos walking through the neighborhood on the morning of March 28th. So according to the warrants, a dried red or rusted color substance was found on those rubber gloves. So they were sent to the Utah State Crime Lab for testing. However, they came back negative for human blood.
So since the execution of the original search warrant, members of Utah County Search and Rescue have said they searched the nearby Jordan River for weapons. They used dogs specifically trained to locate metallic objects, including guns. They used these dogs throughout the subdivision, and drones were used to search the area from the air for weapons. Nothing was found. So the gun, it appears, is still missing, or they've never recovered the murder weapon. So Jessica's family made a statement to the media and said that their lives have been forever changed. They said, we will continue to wait for answers. We remain hopeful that justice will be served and those responsible will be held accountable. We miss Jessica and Eli every single moment of every single day. When we are together as a family, we can't help but feel incomplete. We miss their smiles, their laughter, and their joyful spirits. Please continue to keep our family and everyone affected by this senseless tragedy in your thoughts and prayers. So we're now more than a year after the murders. There still hasn't been an arrest. The family have urged anyone with information to come forward. They said, if you have any information that could help move this case forward, we urge you to contact the Saratoga Springs Police Department. Jessica and Eli deserve justice, and even the smallest detail could help law enforcement in their ongoing investigation. So I did have a look for any updates. There was a bunch of articles in March around the anniversary. There really hasn't been anything since. It does remind me a little bit of the Anna Kepner case, how I just feel like there must be so much going on behind closed doors because there are minors involved that we don't know of. There was a lot of uproar when the warrants and the affidavits were unsealed and released, because it does give quite a bit of information about the teenage son and about things that may be suspicious. Obviously, we have to be careful because no charges have been laid. It does involve a minor, but it just seems to me like there's so much evidence. They've got DNA, they've got hair, they've got pet hair, they've got footage. I wonder what is going on. I feel like it's being held up because there is a minor involved in this case, or even if, a minor witness, at least, if nothing else.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like the family, it reminds me of the Anna Kepner case, because not that the family's being uncooperative, but it seems like they're also maybe trying to protect. Yeah. Again, I don't want to insinuate anything, but we can all read between the lines, I would say.
I feel like there's one outcome here that wouldn't be shocking to me based on the evidence, which I feel like everyone could deduce based from what we've presented today. Maybe there are multiple people involved. I suspect there's at least one person very close to the family, if not within the family, that is involved. And they're just trying to get all their ducks in a row to proceed with proceedings against that person.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard because we obviously don't want to accuse anyone.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like we've just presented the information that we have. So it's up to people.
And we're probably all thinking the same thing.
Yeah. The obituaries for Eli and Jessica are still online. Both of the surviving children are listed in there. They do say in Jessica's that she's survived by her beloved children. They list both of them. And then in Eli's one, they say he's survived by his siblings. They list their full names and ages, as well as his father. So both siblings did get a mention, which I always find interesting in possible cases like this.
I feel like if they didn't, it would have raised flags around.
And also, as we mentioned, as of the time of recording, so now as of July 2026, no one has been arrested and charged. There may end up being some totally unusual outcome or unexpected outcome. I just feel like finding the mask, finding the backpack, finding the slides, finding the notes, all those
the texts.
Yeah, things seem to be pointing in one direction.
Who was home at the time?
Yeah. yeah, I'm just hesitant to say. I know we often give our opinions on what happened. I'm more hesitant to name names or absolutely point the finger in this case just because of the circumstances involved.
Yeah, I agree.
One other thing that we didn't mention is that in one of the more recent articles is that the clothing that the teen son was wearing apparently had traces of gunshot residue on it. It says a lab report received from Microtrace Lab indicates that gunshot residue or GSR was present on his clothing. They still haven't located any of the weapons or firearms, and that it says detectives are unaware of any possible reason or explanation of why gunshot residue would have been present on the teen's clothing.
I bet once they find the weapon, if they do, which I bet that's one thing that they really want to find, that would be a big help.
So there is a little bit more information too about the teen son's online time. It says that he spends 15 hours a day on average on his phone, on his talking with friends on Discord and Snapchat, and that he also uses Telegram, which is one basically where it's harder to trace the communications. It says that someone was offering on Telegram a dirty gun for sale. No further details regarding the firearm are available from the data that detectives have been able to review. So every time we hear more and more, I just feel like it probably points in one direction. We'll have to wait and see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, not besides the wondering of who did it, just like why, what led up to it, what was going on.
Yeah.
I know that we got like a little taste of the texts, but it just wonder what led up to this, I guess.
Yeah, there's more, like, obviously we've just kind of tried to provide the information that's relevant to the case. I have read that this teen boy apparently contacted his friends and said that he was kind of upset that they hadn't bothered to research what had happened in the case. It says that after the friend agreed to do some quick research, the friend continued to discuss what he learned about the case with the teen boy, and that the teen expresses knowledge of the case details and seems to question details that may not be true. So his friend seems like he was asking questions about what happened or had it. Yeah, it's very strange. The whole thing is, yeah.
That's why I said it's strange, and then you said, but not strange. But I was like, but still strange. Like it is and isn't. And
I feel like the strangest part to me is that they haven't been able to proceed with anything given.
Yeah, like what is going on?
Information. I feel like it will be like the Anna Kapner case where once they are able to, things will happen quickly. But we are now, 16 months on from this and still nothing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's a long time. Well, hopefully we'll get an update soon. Now that we've recorded the episode, we'll get one tomorrow.
Yeah, always. I'm just looking at the most recent articles. Like they've got headlines like "No arrest year after Saratoga Springs mother-son murders. We have not forgotten. Family of Saratoga Springs double homicide victims speak ahead of anniversary. Chilling note found in teen rooms after mum 8-year-old shot dead. This is a murder story." So there hasn't really
Eli?
been. Yeah. Maybe Eli was just in the room with the mother at the time because they were found in her bedroom. So maybe if it did happen at 2:30/3 o'clock in the morning, maybe Eli was sleeping in there with her. I don't know.
Very sad.
Hopefully
he was just asleep.
Yeah, and didn't know.
Poor baby.
One thing I wanted to add is I have kind of followed this case since it happened. I did initially think this was probably going to be a murder-suicide, that it was the mother who had killed the son, and then it kind of came out pretty quickly that it wasn't that.
That you were wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong. But that was my first assumption when I heard about a mother and son, and they've been very, very close-lipped from almost day one. Like people are like, where's all the information? What's going on? And I feel like that's because of the strange circumstances. The difficult circumstances surrounding this case.
Yeah. That is it for this episode. That's all the information that's out there for now. Hopefully we will be hearing some updates in the near future. If somehow there is an update before this comes out, I'll put in a clip. But I have a feeling it won't be that soon.
Yeah, sure.
So everything We'll be on the blog at truecrimesocietyblog.com. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at True Crime Society. We've been posting even more there lately, just posting lots of true crime news on our Instagram. If you want to see what we're up to, my account is StephSum_, Olivia's TCS Olivia. Check us out on Patreon if you like the podcast and you want more content from us. We do weekly bonus episodes. All the episodes are ad-free, so you get 2 episodes a week and earlier release of this main episode. Plus, it's kind of its own community with special chats and all things like that. Olivia has a very active book club chat with everyone that likes to read. We have a recipe chat. We have regular chat. Lots going on there. So check us out on Patreon. And if you can, share to your Instagram stories. We love resharing them and seeing what everyone is up to while listening to the podcast. It's a big help to us to get the word out as well. And leave us comments on Spotify. Olivia likes to read them, I think.
Yeah, they are entertaining. Most of them are lovely. Some of them are interesting. But I do enjoy reading them. It's one of my favorite parts of the week after the episode comes out, because that's the day after is when we get most of the comments. So and people still go through and leave comments on really old episodes, and we get them all. So make sure you do that, because I like to check them out.
But that is it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening. Stay safe out there. Peace out.
See ya.